Hi everybody, this is Debbie, and I'll start off with saying there's a good chance I'll be interrupted by a deep dark voice. It's almost 1 a.m. My husband is home from work and he's running around doing things, so I'm going to try to sneak some footage in while he's outside doing something with the water. This original design I'm calling LOCOMOTION, tire track, and railroad track, and all those good names, which this makes me reminded of, have been taken, so I thought locomotion was a cute little name. It is referenced in part 1 of my introduction to my original designs as 2O. That is not 20, that's a 2 and a small cased O. This is what it looks like. This is the other side, which is of no interesting design. It might be if there were more contrast between the green and the blue, but for now this is what it looks like, and I tried it using one of the jelly colors. It's a little tighter, but it's still cute. So we will start out by color A is the ocean blue here. I will be using, I will be using orange. I have these backwards. I want to make sure I have this right. I will be using the neon orange. Color B is the bands in the middle here. I've got the dark green and the teal here. Those will be the blue. Let me see. Those will be the blue. And the third color, which would be the caramel here and the yellow here, will be, and I'm going to have to make my piles here a little differently. It's way too late for me to be doing this, but I'm trying to keep to my 30 videos per day schedule, so there's a chance I get all my 160, 170 designs in. So you've seen the 3 colors that I'm going to be using. Of course, you'll need your clip to hold it all together, your hook, and something to help ease the bracelet off if it's tight. In this case it will be. So I use just a very inexpensive crochet hook. You can get it at Walmart, Kmart, Sears, I'm sure. Michael's definitely. Just costs less than $2 and it's very handy. I will be using 2 bars parallel to each other, and I'm keeping them split apart because the stretching of the B colored bands across here helps it from being too tight. I've tried it with just the 2 bars close together, and the finished design kind of looks like this, so you really can't see any of the middle. So we will start out with our A color band, and we will place it across here, and then we will be going quickly up each side. Just straight, basic band placement. Okay, the water has turned off from outside, so I will be waiting to hear the door open. If I hear the door open, I'll probably say that I'm taking a break. But if we're in the middle of doing something like that, like this, you can just continue the sequence, and then of course I will turn the camera back on and continue with the design, and hopefully I'll come up with more clever introduction phrases. I've been doing a little bit of watching my video playback, and it's like I say the same thing over and over again. Okay, very simple, straight up each side. Now this part, which I will start to show you, but I will turn the camera off for you to finish it because it is a little tedious. Not the first row, but every 2 bars, across, 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 all the way up to the second to last post. Not here. We will be taking the band, putting it on the hook, doubling it over, place it on the second peg, stretch it all the way over, and push it down a little bit to make room for the additional color. Take it, the band, put it on your hook, bring it over, pull it apart so that you can place. I am so sorry for that segment being cut short, but I did not realize I put in a 1 gigabyte SD card into my camera. Shows you how little that holds. So hopefully without any interruptions from my husband, who's not dark. I described him as deep dark. His voice is deep, but he's not dark as far as personality or anything like that. It just sounded dramatic. So now I'm going to show for the right-handed, when we place the bands over, stretch them across, you double it like that, grab it with your finger, place it over one peg, and pull it over the other one. Sometimes you can go like this to the act all twisted up. I will do it one more time, and then you can finish the rest up on your own as I finish mine off camera. So you twist it once, place the other end, twist it on so that it's doubled. Looks like that. Grab 2 corners of it so you have the double circle. Place it on one peg. Then hopefully without grabbing anything else, and only those, you pull over to the other post. Okay, so we still have a little over half the loom, and I will be back to show you the next step. This is what our loom looks like with the blue or color B all the way up to the second to the last set of pegs, but not up here. The next part is very easy. We are just going to take our third color and place it all the way up each side very quickly. I hope this one hasn't been done before. I mean, I've seen it with just a single band and along the sides and then the double in the middle, I believe, or the single. But I don't believe I've seen it with 2 layers on the side like I have here. So if any of you, oops, broken one. Okay, so that's up the first side, so we're going to come back down and finish this side. Very easy looping. And the loop back is very simple too, just straight up the sides both 2 times and then you're done. But because of the stretched bands here, I am likely to use the little slender metal crochet hook, I'm sorry, off camera there, to help pull the bracelet off so we don't distort it. Okay, so now we need a cap at the end, and I like to double single band, put it over one peg, and ooh, this is a tight one, and pull it over to the other one. And as you know, the cap is part of the extension later on. It's one of the extension bands. So now we are going to take the top band, in this case the maroon, and just loop one over the other, all the way up each side. This should not take too long at all. It's right there at the top. Very easy to grab. The bands are very taut, so the hook doesn't necessarily want to grab those, except for here, because I've kind of, I didn't lay them out. So I push this down and free up that maroon band. There we go. Probably push these down, get them out of the way a little. Always a good practice. Just makes things easier. See now, oops, we do need to keep these on the tracks because, okay, when you have a problem like that and they like to bounce out of their peg, what you need to do is, once you get them placed, is just, so sorry. Okay, what happened was this kind of came off. You want to make sure, because we have more looping, that they stay on and around the post. So in order to prevent, when you pull this up, to prevent pulling this up too, if you just stick your finger on it, it prevents that. Okay, so here we go on this side. This one needs to be a little bit of this tight stinker. And there we go. Okay. And we will continue to grab our maroons or whatever color C is, making sure not to grab the B or the blue bands. I'm just having the darndest trouble, aren't I? I have a lot to aim on, not laying these out. Oops, again. See what happened here? It popped off. You're definitely going to want to keep those on. So again, you keep this finger, your extra finger, whatever hand you're using, and as you pull this one up, you keep this one held down. Just saves a little time. I should go much slower, but I did not give enough space between these bands. Another thing you do here is push the blue down, and that clears the maroon. Alright, that took a little longer than it should have, but there you have the loom up to now. If you can see this bottom row of the neon orange, we will be reaching under and simply looping them up each side. Reach down in between them all, grab the orange and pull it up through. It's a little bit tight, but it's not really that bad. Just make sure you don't miss any, because the integrity of any bracelet depends on the fact that each band is looped intrinsically to the other. And so if one of those chains is broken, the whole bracelet is broken. Okay, we've got that side. Now all we have to do is finish this side. It's always exciting to get near the end of making a bracelet to see how it looks. Even though I've made these before, choosing different color schemes. Sometimes I like to use very non-traditional color combinations. It's just fun to see. How it looks afterwards. I'm getting quite a few bracelets stocked up here, and I was thinking, I'm trying to get my daughter, who is 10, she's really interested in elephant conservation, and that's what she wants to do as an adult. And I'm trying to encourage her to do things now. Find an organization that is reputable. Sorry, it's off screen. And I told her, why not put a little tag on all these extra bracelets I've made, and try to get donations from your friends and maybe at lemonade stands, and you can use that money and send it off to Elephant Refuge. She likes the idea, but I don't think she likes the work. But she's just 10, it'll take time. Okay, now we're ready to finish off, and I'm using this as one of the extensions. My wrist is 6 1/4 inches. I hold this side, and then I can pull this side up. And when it's split apart like this is really hard to do, so hopefully I won't mess it up. I use 4 bands for my extension on each side so that the clip is in the center. So with the hook facing down, you gently pull it through that one and that one, turn it upside up, and place the other end of the band on. And you keep doing this if you want to do your whole extension, all 7 or 8 bands, or 9 or 10. You can do that too. As I said, I like to take the extra effort so that I don't have a clasp showing on the edge of my wrist. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'm done on this side. And in order to prevent it from coming on all unraveled, if I pull it off at this point, sometimes it just slips off the hook, so I use my fingers to spread it apart, take a clip and pop it on. It's really simple if you have the elastic taut. So let's see if this will, yes, this comes off easy and whoops, easy enough. You just gotta make sure you kind of use your finger to roll it up so that the glue comes off too. And again, if you want to use the hook, it's simply sticking it in each peg hole and pulling it out like this. It takes a little bit longer than just ripping it off, but I think it makes for a neater bracelet. Okay, so here you have it. It's a little closed up right here, but if you just pull it apart, you've stretched out a lot with having the bars spread apart. And they seem to kind of settle themselves out over time too. I've noticed bracelets that seem kind of chaotic and not how the sample that I had looks like, but I realized that the bands seem to go into place after they've been set for a while. That's what it looks like on the side. The underside is of really no design, so here you have it with a little pink, little blue peeking through. And so now we will finish. Okay, even though I used the maroon here, I guess I'm using the yellow for the extensions. It doesn't really matter. So I'll be piecing 3, since this is my cap is my 4th band, for a total of 8, 4 on each side. Take your cap, place it over the last peg that you have your extension bands on. Oops. And then I'm really glad they came out with this. Those plastic ones are good for nothing. I broke them so fast. So here you do just quickly put them up. Hold your finger here as you pop those bands off. Find your hook, turn it so the opening is out. You can see that. Stretch this band as much as you can, and then take the clasp or the clip and find the center, put the 2 sides of the band on it, and there you have it. Locomotion. If you enjoyed this design, please feel free to like me and share with your friends. And if you'd like to see more of my original designs, make sure to subscribe to Deb's Thing. Thank you very much for watching my video.